Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing my February 2016 wrap up, talking about all the books that I read in the month of February and my thoughts on them and the usual wrap up kind of stuff. So yeah, I read a total of 9 things this month, which is bad for me, but we're just gonna skip over that and hope for better next month. So let's get right into the, what is this, wrap up. Get into the wrap up. Book I read is a book that I do not physically own, and that is Saga Volume 3, and this is a graphic novel series, a sci-fi graphic novel series, and it is adult. It does show there's coarse language and things like that, so if you can't read about it, don't like it, yeah, probably give these a pass, but they're very interesting, really cool artwork, and really awesome. It's just really an awesome story, and it's really fun to read, so yeah, pretty good. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. And the next book I read this month was Into the Darkest Corner by Elizabeth Haynes, and this is a thriller, an adult thriller, basically about this girl named Catherine, and she meets this guy named Lee, and at first he appears to be oh so handsome and oh so sweet, and then over time things go very wrong, and this does have triggers for abuse and rape, and there's a lot of triggers, so yeah, really I think informative and really eye-opening, and I think if you can read about stuff like this, I definitely think you should. It was a book that's hard to read, and it's also a book that got me really angry, not because it was bad, just because of the things that happened. I was like, there was just something about it that I couldn't get fully into it, and it didn't blow me away, but I'm definitely was really interesting. But the way she writes her characters, her romances go so fast. I give this a 3.5 out of 5, so if you like thrillers, I would suggest picking it up. So, and the next book I read was Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. This is like one of the last Colleen Hoover books that have been published that I haven't read yet, and I was really happy to pick this one up, and yeah. But this book is about 2 people, Sydney and Ridge, and basically Sydney, her roommate slash best friend, has an affair kind of with her boyfriend. So her boyfriend was cheating on her, and she has to live somewhere else considering her best friend just, you know. So she moves out. She's pissed, obviously. And this guy named Ridge, who lives upstairs, invites her to stay with him, and it's not like some random guy, like they kind of were acquaintances, and it's really interesting. It's about their romance in particular. I definitely thought this was fast-paced and interesting. It was also very funny, and it was just really kind of a refreshing read of the month. But it was like, okay, I mean, this book was funny, like I said, but I just had some little issues with it, but it's more like my taste wise. I don't know, there was just some things about it, and it kind of got really old because the main character was always saying like, I don't want to be like her best friend who cheated on, you know, who's saying all this stuff. She's like, I don't want to be like that girl who knows that a boy's in a relationship, but I'm still gonna go after them. But like, she said it like a billion times, and it just got really old, and I don't like the cheating situation at all. Like, cheating was so present in this book, so if this pisses you off, like if cheating pisses you off, don't pick this up. You probably won't like it, but I mean, it was okay. Not the best by Colleen Hoover, definitely not, but I enjoyed like the atmosphere and the bonding between all of them, all the roommates and stuff. Also, if you do read this book, please listen to the soundtrack because it goes really nicely with this book, and even though the type of music that the soundtrack isn't really my taste, I still really liked it. So yeah, if you're gonna pick this up, read it with the soundtrack, like listen to it, you know, listen to the soundtrack. It works. But I give this a 3.25 to a 3.5 out of 5. And following that, I picked up Maybe Not by Colleen Hoover, which this is the novella that goes along with the previous book, and this is about the side character's romance, and yeah. But I enjoyed this, definitely. If you liked Maybe Someday, even if you liked it slightly or you liked the side characters, definitely pick this one up. I think Colleen Hoover does a great job with novellas, and yeah, she does a great job with those kind of books. And books, she does a great job. This one is more sex heavy than Maybe Sunday, but so just letting you know, I don't know. I enjoyed this book. It was good. It was interesting. I like to get to know Warren and Bridget a bit more, and you got to hear more about Bridget's past and Warren's past and like why they are the way they are. It just kind of adds more dimension to the maybe someday story overall. But yeah, I gave this a 3.5 to a 3.75 stars. Yeah, I give 0.25 stars, but you know, I mean, hey. Next, I read Saga Volume 4 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staple. Again, I'm really enjoying this series. I've been taking them out from the library, but I think I might purchase them and reread them and stuff, just like back to back, but we'll see what happens, we'll see. But I enjoyed Volume 4, I gave it 4 stars. So I read Stay Beautiful by Trina M. Lee, and this was just some random steamy new adult book. I'm not gonna put the cover up because it's gross and it's not cute, so I'm not gonna put it up. But I just took this out on my iPad real quick and I just read it in a couple hours, but it wasn't good. I wouldn't recommend it. Just don't. I didn't like it. I understand that I do appreciate authors and like just how much work they can put into a book and how much time and effort it takes, but I just didn't like it. That's just my opinion, you know? But I gave it 1.5 stars, so moving on. I read Do Not Disturb by A.R. Tord. This is the sequel to The Girl in 6E, which basically The Girl in 6E is about a girl who doesn't leave her apartment because she has homicidal tendencies and things like that. So it's a thriller, but people say it's also a cross between 50 Shades of Grey and Dexter. So if you're not comfortable with any of the themes, if you're not comfortable with that, I wouldn't pick this one up. It is adult. But besides that, I'm just letting you know, because at first I didn't know they were steamy. At first I didn't know what to expect when I picked up the first book, so I'm just trying to let you know. But I did really enjoy this. I read this in a couple hours and I kind of fell into a reading slump throughout the month, and this just kind of was good and a little booster for me, because when I don't read I feel weird and I just don't like it. I feel anxious and like I need to read, and I was just really happy to pick this up and read it in a couple hours. It was great. I flew through it. It's not the best series out there. Obviously there's some weird things with it and it's just kind of odd, but I'm interested. I like the characters. Like I'm kind of used to them. Like it's a comfortable story. Not comfortable, but I don't know. I'm just like, I like her writing style like enough that I'm just like it's fast paced, it's interesting. If you're in a slump, pick this up. This is good. These books are good. I gave this a 3.5 to a 3.75. So. And the next book I read was Sounds of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, and this is about a murder case named Buffalo Bill, and he takes overweight girls and keeps them hostage for a while and then murders them. But we follow Clarice Starling, who is working on this case. It was assigned by Jack Crawford to work on, and she has to go see Hannibal Lecter for advice and help with this case, and it has so many things going on. I gave this book a 3.25. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. These stories are really memorable to me, and I really care about, like, I'm really appreciative of these stories that Thomas Harris writes, and I'm looking forward to reading the next book eventually. But I will say that these books are very memorable, but they're not fun to read, or they're not, I don't know, there's sometimes a bit of a push to read, but when I'm done, I'm happy I read them. And I have a whole length review for this if you want to hear more of my thoughts. But yeah, those are my general thoughts on this book. 3.25. Yeah, pretty decent, but yeah. And the last book I read was my classic for the month, and that was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This copy actually also contains Through the Looking Glass, which is like the story after, but they're separate, so I didn't read that one yet. But I read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and basically I did like it. The writing was odd, and I just felt it was a little jumpy. Like at first I was like, there's something up. Like it was kind of jumpy. Like Alice talked to herself like out loud. Like she'd be like thinking out loud. I'm like, what are you doing? She did it a lot, and I'm like, okay, I mean, sure, but like it was weird. Definitely my favorite was the cat, because I mean, and I think it was a griffin. What was it? Yeah, it was the griffin that I really liked too. So those are my favorite things about the book. Like I liked the writing was interesting and everything, but it was decent. Like it wasn't a horrible classic. Like I actually kind of liked it. I find it very, like, it was an interesting concept. But yeah, I gave this a 3.5 stars. But those were all the books that I read throughout the month of February. I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up, and if you've read any of these books or would like to, let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them as per usual. I will see you guys next time with a new video.